Welcome to today's review where we're looking at my Omega Speedmaster triple date. And before I begin, I want to thank all the people who have subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button. It helps the channel a lot if I get more subscribers. Anyway, let's get into this watch that has just gone into rotation. This is the Omega Speedmaster 3520.50, otherwise known as the Mk40. This was introduced in 1993. This, I think, is a 95 model that I have. And it's exceptional because it's a watch that has, as you can see, the day, the month, the date, which really is what gives it its nickname, the triple date. In the about 91 or 92, Omega introduces the next generation of Speedmasters. Most people know the Speedmaster as the famous moon watch, the one that actually went to the moon in the 1960s. And Omega introduced a variation of the Speedmaster. Remember, the Speedmasters were all manually wound watches. These were not automatic watches till the mid 80s, when Omega came up with the automatic Speedmaster. So these were automatic chronographs, but they were still the larger Speedmaster. And then they came up with the next version, which was called the Speedmaster Reduced. So this is a 39mm watch, lug to lug. Is about 45, I think, 39mm width, 45mm lug, 18mm bracelet, really great size. And so in the early 90s, Omega introduces the sapphire crystal version of the Speedmasters, which are now automatics also. They were obviously just like the classic Speedmaster. They had the iconic twisted lugs. You see how the lug actually just folds in to become a vertical element out here, which is just a very iconic Speedmaster design. There's obviously the recessed subdials. This one, we'll talk more about the subdials later. So this has a Valjoux 7751 variation for the Omega, which is called the Omega 1151 movement. And in my opinion, this is a better chronograph movement than the equivalent 39mm Speedmaster, which is called the Speedmaster Reduced, because this has what is called a dedicated chronograph movement. In other words, the chronograph function, which is how you measure elapsed time on this, is part of the movement. Whereas on the Speedmaster Professional, which is otherwise known as the Speedmaster Reduced, that is actually just an ETA 2890 with an extra layer of chronograph functions attached on top of it. So one of the things is obviously these early 90s sapphire crystals all had the anti-reflective coating on the external surface. And the problem with that is, even though the sapphire doesn't get scratched, the anti-reflective coating does get scratched. So it's very common to see these with scratches on the crystal. It's just the AR that's gotten scratched. Let's talk about the sub-registered. So these have 3 recessed sub-registers, not at the 3, 6, and 9 as in the iconic professional model. These occur at the 6, 9, and 12. And the 12 o'clock has the 30-minute totalizer, just like a regular Speedmaster. The professional is what I mean. The 6 o'clock has the 12-hour totalizer. And at 9 o'clock, you actually have 2 stacked subdials. You have the seconds hand, which you can see rotating, and you have a 24-hour clock. The 24-hour clock cannot be used to have measure the dual time somewhere else. So it really is a 24. It has essentially half the gearing of the hour hand. So it really, all that it serves is to tell you whether it's day or night. It's a great AM PM indicator. What makes this very unique obviously is the date track on the outer periphery. So you have all the numbers 1 through 22nd, 31st. Today is the 11th, with a blackened shaft with a white airplane with white wings to show you what date it is. It really gives it a very unique look because there's no window for the date as you normally would expect on Speedmasters, the contemporary Speedmasters at the 6 o'clock position. So being able to look at the date on the outer track is just, I think it gives it a lot of charm. Now, one of the things that makes this particular model so distinctive is, as you can see, the yellowed hour markers. So till 1996, Omega used to use tritium for the loom. Then they stopped using tritium after 96. So tritium ages into this wonderful orangish, creamish color after about I think 15 to 20 years. So on this particular model, because I think this is from 95, I have to look up the serial to actually be sure of the date. You can see this wonderful patina as the tritium has aged on the hour markers, but the loom on the hands is not tritium, which is why it has stayed the whitish color that it has. And I think that's just a very nice detail. Another nice detail that this has is at the 10 o'clock mark, you have the button that changes the day. This is hard to do on camera. So if you press this, that's how the day changes. Let's get it back. Really hard to do on camera. So it's Thursday, that's Friday, that's Saturday, Sunday, why is this not going through? Okay, I need to look at this. I need to figure out why I must be doing something wrong. There you go. You're just not pressing it well enough. There you go. I was just not pressing it the right way. So, and that's back to Tuesday. So I think that what really gives this watch its charm are the day and month markers at the dials at the 12 o'clock position. It gives it a very unique tool watch look, especially the 24-hour marker at 9 o'clock, the day and the month at 12 o'clock. And this really is a tool watch, as you can see, as everybody knows. If you are a subscriber, you would know. And as I said, please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. You can see some scrapes. You can see, at the 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. This watch has been worn for 20-something years now. And it's, like a well-built watch. It works. I have no complaints. It's, sure, it has some dings and scratches, but I have absolutely no complaints about how the watch works. This obviously has the nice sliding clasp that all 90s Omegas have. It has only one release button for that clasp. Solid end links, naturally. And the very iconic Omega bracelet design. What else? The way it differs from a moon watch is on a moon watch where you'd be normally seeing it'll be a screw-in case back. This is a pressure fit. This is it's obviously smaller. And in terms of final thoughts, I actually think this is a better buy, at least in the used market, than a Speedmaster Professional. Because Speedmaster Professionals are just absurd how expensive they've gotten. You can get a watch like this nowadays for, I think about the mid 2000s, maybe 2500 to $3,000. And I think it's a great deal because unlike the Speedmaster Professional, which is actually not a very useful watch to wear. I've worn one, and the problem is you don't have the day, you don't have the date. So on a daily for a daily beater, the Speedmaster Professional is a very hard watch to wear. I get it that it's iconic with the subdials at the 3, 6, and 9, but this watch is a great daily wearer because you really have everything on this watch that you need to have to wear it on a regular basis. Keeps great time. I have no complaints. The tachymeter markings are all just naturally they're painted, so it does get scratched. It's aluminum and stainless steel combination. Like a classic Speedmaster, you realize it'll like radiate out. And there's a very sharp angle to the bezel, which continues in the domed sapphire crystal. The chronograph works as perfectly as it can. There you go. Instant goes back right to 0. And anyway, that's all that I thought I would do a quick review because the triple date was in circulation. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel and let me know in your comments what you guys think. And I will see you on another video.